Louis Salt for the Ring magazine. Delighted today to be joined with the source Lawrence Okolie here in Manchester. Just finished some hard sparring as sort of winding down in camp for your fight against Kevin Lerena on July 19th. Lawrence, good to be speaking to you. Good to see you. How's things?
All good. Thank you for having me coming down, having a little watch. Well, yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, mate. As soon as I walked in there, I was like, some like mad environment. But do you think, like, for sparring, is that something that you enjoy, like with the music blaring?
Yeah.
Joe obviously having the passion, like, is that something that you'd enjoy in that sparring environment?
I don't know about enjoy, but it gets you ready for a fight. You know, it's obviously very intense on fight night. A lot of emotions, a lot of noise. You have to do a lot of thinking for yourself under the, you know, the noise of the crowd or the adrenaline or whatever else. So it gets me like in the right frame of mind. So when it's time for the fight, it's not like a massive ordeal or shock.
That's the thing, because I guess sort of fighters, when they are sparring, it's usually like, you know, 4 or 5 people in the gym. It's silence and that. Like, do you think that's sort of like? Do you think that is a conscious, like, it's mental prep to say like, look, let's get this like not as chaotic, but let's get this as like close as we possibly can. In a sense?
Yeah, I think there's a place for it. You know what I mean? Because I think under like quiet conditions, and you can hear your coach saying, do this, do that, it's very easy to like look good or box well. But then on the night, you might not be able to hear your coach every single second of every single round to, you know, make you pick up on mistakes. You have to pick up on them yourself, and you have to sort of grit and grind and push the pace and push yourself, and like, yeah, all the things. All those things.
Yeah, I remember speaking to you before. You talked to me about like sort of analysing your sparring and still watching it back. Is that something you still do?
Yeah. If we manage to get any footage, I'll watch it back. I think it's good to kind of see, because it's one thing to feel, another thing to watch. Yes, we go from there. Yeah,
definitely. How are you finding things in Manchester?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's solid, hard work. You know, gritty work. We're getting near to the end of camp now, so you know, it's obviously every session's brutal, but all good.
Yeah, as I say, obviously pressure. Closing down camp now against Kevin Lerena. Obviously a massive stage for yourself and a big fight with a lot of implications in the heavyweight division. I guess how excited are you for overall to be in a big fight and for it to be on a massive stage as well? Yeah,
I'm excited. You know, I've been in loads of big fights, so for me it's just like another fight. Obviously in every fight you've got to push yourself, and anything can happen, and you've got to be ready to be gritty and vicious and, you know, all of the above. But overall, you know, I'm just ready to go.
Is there an idea of, I guess, that eagerness to be back in there? Because if you look at sort of the last 12 months or so, you've only boxed, no 40 rounds, but you've only boxed 2 rounds, you know, and 2 back-to-back first-round knockouts. So there's that idea of saying, look, I'm itching to get back, because you sort of do want that ring time, especially as a heavyweight as well.
No, if I can get the fight over in 1 round, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, as we said, we're not here to do overtime. Obviously, I'm in condition, as you obviously saw today, so I'm ready to do however many rounds the fight is, 10 or 12 or whatever, at an intense pace. So that's not really the issue for me. The issue for me is just sticking to my game plans and doing what I do best well for as long as the fight goes on for.
So like the idea, I guess, of ring rust, not really something you really buy into?
Not really. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because a lot of people don't put themselves in really hard positions or fight-like positions. You know, you go through a lot of mental stuff in actual fights. Oh, I'm tired. The pressure. Crowd. But then I just put myself in as close to that in training every day. So for me, it's not a big deal. And also I'm experienced. Like I've had long periods out of the ring and started to get in and have a fight. I think there is obviously such a thing as ring rust, but I think I boxed 6 months ago or whatever else. So it's not that long ago. I was in camp for another fight. So anyway, long story short, I'm raring to go.
Yeah, and I know you spoke about the fight in December, and it weren't like it was like a short notice fight. But you've obviously, for this one, you've had a lot more time to prepare and a lot more time to, I guess, have that heavyweight feel. Do you feel like you've had that sort of in this camp? You've had them 6 months to, I guess, really sort of become like almost like a fully fledged heavyweight in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously, for example, there's some people that I sparred who were heavyweights when I was boxing for my world title against Krzysztof Glowaczki, who was a southpaw. I'm sparring him now as a heavyweight, and it feels different. You know, obviously I'm a lot stronger. I can match them for different things that I wasn't doing as a cruiserweight. So obviously I feel physically strong. I feel physically fit. I feel explosive. I'm punching, you know, hard, and like I said, we're still 2 weeks away. So I'm not at the finished peak, but it's like I'm well on my way.
And obviously this fight being at Wembley, I guess for yourself the stadium shows are something that you're quite used to. I mean, you've been in a lot. Regardless of being the main event or not, you know, look at like Tottenham, Wembley, you know, before, etc. Like, how do you deal with, I guess, that occasion and that whole sort of fight week build-up in the sense of being on a big stage where it's really something that's pretty common to you?
Yeah, like I said, since my pro debut, I've been in, press conference way, and I've done, you know what I mean. I've dealt with wins, I've dealt with a loss, I've dealt with, I've dealt with all of it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, 20-something fights now. So for me, the fight week, none of that stuff really matters. It's just about how the day goes, do you know what I mean? And then obviously the night goes and the fight goes. So that's what I'm kind of locked in on. I'm locked in on the actual execution of my game plan, execution of what shots I think are going to work, what positions are going to be good for me, and what positions aren't so good to avoid. So yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Does it, I guess, on Saturday, does it really matter? Because, regardless of sort of you fighting in front of 90,000 at Wembley or you're fighting sort of in someone's back garden, at the end of the day, the job still remains the same.
Yeah, 100%. If we're honest, the only difference is like the opponent might fight harder because there's a big crowd or because it's a big opportunity. You know what I mean? So certain shots that might hurt someone and make them really doubt themselves and get you close to the stoppage might not do it in front of 90,000 people, so you might need to push a little bit further to get that kind of damage done. In a spa, in a small arena, in the middle of not, you might hit them with a good shot and they kind of just, enough's enough.
Yeah.
But on that kind of cage, especially, listen, the guy in boxing's a world champion. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's not like a bum. He's a fully fledged WBC world champion. So it's like he's coming in with the expectation of his country, the expectation of being a champion's mindset. So I'm gonna have to break him.
That's what I was going to say about Kevin as well. Like, he is someone that is no secret. Like, every time you know we're going to get. Like, he prides himself on his sort of hard work and his determination. So do you feel in a sense that it's good to have that preparation, knowing that on July 19th, no stone will be unturned. You're going to get a guy that's going to be fully ready to get in there with you.
Yeah, you know what I mean. When the fight's won, I'll be able to look and say that was a proper champion that I just beat. You know what I mean? Obviously I've beaten champions before and I've been in good fights with good boxers before, but this would be a good one, another good one.
Albeit what you've done at cruiserweight, and especially in your career so far, do you still feel like you, especially in a fight like this, you still need to be putting on them statements to put your name in the conversation definitely. When it comes to world titles?
Definitely, there's fights that I want that if I don't look good, I'm not going to get. So I need to look good. I need to be vicious. I need to assert myself. I just need to do it all. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, and obviously you're not going to look past that. You're not going to look too far ahead. But obviously, being the WBC #1 and knowing that there's things coming with that. I know they're talking about sort of late autumn and Ajit Kabal homecoming in Germany. I know that's something that's you've done before with Ryzansky in Poland and stuff. So when you've got, I guess, them things in mind and putting on them statements, like, how much do you feel like that motivates you to sort of look good or look good in July and be like, look, it's about being undeniable, I guess.
Yeah, agreed. That's what it more is. You know what I mean? Like, it's very easy to kind of just, because anyone that watches me knows that I'll be a tough fight. Do you know what I mean? So it's easy to kind of just brush it to the side if you're not, putting in first round knockouts or big sort of performances. So as you said, on a stage like that, I've had 5-6 weeks notice, so that's a good enough time to get into proper shape. So I'm in shape, as you obviously saw today, and ready to go.
Yeah. What do you think about the main event, Usyk and Dubois?
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. I think, I keep tossing and turning. But every time I get close to Usyk fight, I think this is the one that he's going to lose, and then he just ends up making it happen. I feel like something tells me Dan's going to go in there and steamroll him, but then I thought the same about Tyson Fury in the rematch. I thought the same about AJ in the rematch. So, we'll see.
Subconsciously, are you thinking like you'd have an eye on that main event?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm WBC #1. God willing, by the time they get in the ring, I'm still WBC #1. So yeah, it's all there to be done.
Yeah, there was actually a fight I did want to get your thoughts on as well. A foe of yours, Dillian Whyte, obviously takes on Moses Atalma, who someone that's no secret to yourself. Obviously, you've sparred him very, very early on. Yeah, what do you think about about that fight?
I think it's a good fight. I do think Moses is going to be a little bit too sharp for him, be able to get the shots that hurt him. I think that some of the shots that really offset Dillian are shots that are really comfortable for Moses to throw. So that's why I would heavily lean towards Moses.
Was you shocked that Dillian took the fight?
No. Obviously, it's Riyadh season, main event. He'll be getting paid well for it. So, yeah.
I guess from your part as well, is there some frustration? Like, that's obviously a fight that you've wanted and to not get that as well.
Not really. Do you know what I mean? Because I just need to crack on with my career. Do you know what I mean? It's a fight I wanted. It's a fight that never happened. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? My career doesn't begin and end with beating Dillian. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Lawrence, there was something I wanted to touch on as well. Obviously, your trainer, Joe Gallagher, obviously he's going through sort of battles on his own for himself. I saw you shared a video that Queensbury put out yesterday about him talking about sort of, training yourself and the stuff he does with after it. How much strength do you feel like that gives you to know that your trainer is willing to put so much effort into you, regardless of what's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's going to put in the work, I have to also be able to match that. Do you know what I mean? So, there's no point in him coming into the gym and I'm not giving 100%, but he's giving 110%. He's going above and beyond what anyone in his position probably should do. So yeah, like I said, it gives me a lot of motivation. There's stuff that I want to do with and for him in my career. So, July 19th is just one step on that journey.
But I guess how special is it to have someone that's like down for you like that, and like when you
no,
see
100%, and the same way, I'm on the same page with him. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna go on and do my job, and that's the best way that I can pay him back is do my job well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, good stuff, Lawrence. Appreciate you taking time to speak to me. Good to have you down in the gym, and all the best on July 19th. Top man. Thank you.